I'm sure I have several questions, so I'll be out there. I don't know about the rest of you. So our next speaker is Felicia Perez, who has described herself as an enthusiastic, forward-thinking senior data management professional, which is always great to hear because enthusiasm is what we like best around here. And she's been with all kinds of companies. This is great. She's now representing the National Student Clearinghouse. So as soon as we get this ready to go, we will introduce Felicia up here. Come on up.
Just control from here. Hi. According to the agenda, this has worked really well to start from the broad and move down to the narrow. What I'm going to talk about is our experience with both moving to a cloud data ecosystem and introducing master data management at National Student Clearinghouse. We made the decision to transfer to the cloud. With that, knew that we needed to know much more about our data, and MDM seemed the right tool to do that. From making the decision to move forward and actually start to master that data, we had to move into selecting our tool and our partner, which is how we think of Samarkey through this MDM journey. I'll talk about our implementation journey and then finally what we're seeing as we break through into a world of mastered data at National Student Clearinghouse. One of the most important things to think about as you start to think about master data management is really understanding three things. You got to understand your data, what drives your business. While we care about all data that we produce in a company, it is not actually all created equally in terms of what drives your business. And trying to master everything all at once just drives chaos. So trying to really narrow down what drives your business, what do you need to master, prioritizing it and putting a schedule in place so that you move into master data management after you've started to learn exactly what it can do for you. You also need to understand the environment into which you're putting it. One of the lessons learned from National Student Clearinghouse is as we moved into the cloud data ecosystem, we were in uncharted territory in terms of where our deep skill sets were. And so understanding the infrastructure that you're going to drop master data management into is really important to understanding where you may stub your toe, where you may find performance issues, and where to look to try to solve those issues. For us at National Student Clearinghouse, after this analysis, what we came down to was we needed to improve and target our matching rules. So because for us, with education data, understanding the learner is paramount, but then making sure that all of the education records that are specific to those individuals are done with complete accuracy. And that's something that MDM added to our capabilities and improve them. With that, we wanted to improve our data governance, our overall data quality, and we wanted to be able to create a consistent, clear data steward experience and process. Because anytime you look at your data and say, okay, I understand it, tomorrow something else is going to come in from the side, whether it's a third-party data source, like we've talked about this morning, whether it's slapping AI on top of it, whatever you're doing with it tomorrow is going to be different than today. And having that cadre of data stewards that both understand the data, the process, and the objectives is absolutely critical. So we made the decision to move to the cloud. Just going to put up here for you to look through while I talk. These are what we discovered of why we moved to the cloud and then why we wanted to put master data management as one of our foundational cornerstones of moving in that direction. For master data management, again, improving the understanding of our unique learner population and how we could best make sure that all of the education records are adhering to those learners. Samarkey offered us really agile and easily understood ways to manipulate those matching rules, and we're able to make them specific to each of our products. So in our business, There are certain research capabilities. There's also verification capabilities. Those may need different matching rules to make sure that you're getting through all of the sort of fuzzy matches, or with students, they're quite the comedians. So you need to sort of look through what they may have changed their name to what are those underlying data elements that really tell you who they are. And some things you just can't match, but some things you can, especially after you implement MDM. Focusing on bringing all learners into our ecosystem was very important. As education moves toward recognizing the value of credentialing and technical skills, as much as we appreciate traditional degrees, this becomes more and more important as we move forward. Democratization of our data quality improvement journey was also very important to us. Having those great UIs and being able to really pull what folks know about that data out of them without having them to know SQL or know anything more technical was really important. Smarky does a great job of feeding those UIs that speak English. And finally, streamlining our data use sharing across all platforms and applications. We talked about this a little bit this morning as well. But one thing that we're seeing is the more we can bring data into the enterprise, have it in one place, and serve it up to our applications that are doing different things with it. From an enterprise perspective, we need to understand security and quality. Those applications need to understand what they're looking for out of having that data once it's served to them. So we did a lot of our homework to understand what was driving our business, what our skill sets and resources were, and what that infrastructure looked like that we were going to drop this into. We embarked on a really extensive search to find our partner. And it was a little bit like a Goldilocks story. There were some that were just amazing capabilities, just too big for what we needed. And then other ones were just not quite big enough. Smarky hit that sweet spot for us. They were able to listen to what we could tell them about our enterprise priorities, where we wanted to go with our data products. One of the things about Smarky that impressed us the most was even from the initial conversations, they were saying, we do this well. If this is a priority though over here, we're not as good at that. But we can grow together. And that's what really was important with us in selecting our partner. We wanted someone that was compatible with AWS, that could handle our large volumes of data, that we could identify those unique learners. We wanted that intuitive UI to support data stewards and maintaining that data. And finally, support and pricing. To pause for a minute on support, cannot say enough about how important it is to make sure that whatever partner you're working with has that accessible support. Smarky has been able to help us out both with the big rock issues and with some of the smaller issues to just make everything more smoothly. Oops. So once we selected Smarky, we embarked on a POV to prove on a very small scale that it was going to do for us what we needed to have it do. In January of 2020, we vetted all the way down to Smarky being the one that we're going to do the proof of value with. As you can imagine, March 2020, a couple other things were going on that month as well. And so we literally made our selection and then conducted all of our Smarky tool training and the entire implementation journey as we all learned to work from home. So I think this also points to Smarky's ability to communicate their materials. Everything was very accessible, even if we couldn't be in the same room. The other important thing about this timeline is to understand this is a marathon, not a sprint. And so understanding each of the steps along the way, make sure you know yourself, make sure you know what you need, know your partner, and then take it one step at a time as you implement. There were many opportunities and challenges along the way. Data quality improvement through unification, clarity on our unique learners, which was important to us throughout. Definitely opportunities, challenges for us. We didn't quite understand what it would mean to process all of our historical data into something that was immediately usable and we could bring that power to bear. So this is just an example of something in your requirements and your use cases to be really clear with your providers where your big rocks and your challenges may be, what makes your data a little bit different. Bring those up in the vetting process and really listen to how they're going to work with you to overcome those challenges. So finally, we feel like we are starting to really see the success of this. It's been an incremental introduction to production. So we did not do big bang all at once. That has been absolutely just invaluable. We can cut our teeth per application, understand how to make the matching rules better while keeping the core moving along. We've done a lot of in parallel, looking at things over 6 weeks to 3 months, making sure that everything is truly better as we move to the new technology and move that into the production flow. So I think the key takeaways for moving through this journey are to understand where you are, what your skill sets are, what your capabilities are, where your challenges are, translate those into use cases for upskilling your resources, translate it into a plan of how you're going to bring that SME knowledge to bear in the planning stage, not when you're at the end of a really muddy path and you're 6 feet under and then you need somebody to come dig you out. Channeling that SME knowledge to begin with will absolutely reduce your journey by months, if not years. And just being really, really cognizant of who you're partnering with is very important. You need to have that relationship from the beginning where you can be honest with each other about challenges and you can partner together to solve them. Thank you.